Today we'll talk about two things. The first one is how to feel the motivation to develop and make your life better, and the second one is how to keep this motivation. But first, I want to share with you one exercise. Find a quiet place or maybe use your headphones, close your eyes, straighten your back. Think about where are you now, what path have you traveled, and what are you doing right now. Remember your plans. Think about where you're going. Now imagine that you suddenly became an old man with only several hours left to live. You had always doing what you do right now. Your lifestyle became the same as today, yesterday, or as it was 1 week ago. You're just lying and thinking about your path. What have you done? What have you achieved? If you achieved something. Can you be proud of yourself? Think about where the life has taken you, this old man who is sticking to your current habits. Try to feel and imagine his hands, soft skin on it, people around you. Now take a deep breath and come back to you. Come back to you who is living right now, right here, who has influence on his future life. What do you feel? Do you have a desire to make something? Do you want to become that old man who is sitting and waiting for his death, thinking about, has he achieved something? If you want to change it, that's great, because first of all, it's a wonderful desire, and secondly, you just understood how can you motivate yourself, like the first way to do this. Visualization is a powerful tool that can help you to change your attitude to things and find new meanings. When you draw this picture inside your head and ideally immerse in it, you feel always happening there inside, and you create a complex neural connection. It's like a real lived experience. It remains in your tactile, visual, and sometimes even auditory memory for a long time. Together with you, we did an exercise with an old man that actually showed you where and who you don't want to be. But you can do this in a different way. After watching this video, imagine yourself in 10, in 20 years who decided to take this certain decision that you're thinking about right now, that you're afraid to take because it seems to be very hard to achieve. It seems to be very scary to start. Each of us has own desires that are sitting inside somewhere deep, and we are forgetting about them because they seem to be unattainable. And what if I'll tell you that this particular hard-to-reach desire is able to change your life forever? Yes, starting the way to any such goal, you need a motivational push to start, and yes, for sure, you will challenge yourself. Moreover, in order to move to your goal step by step consistently, you need to have a motivational charge. Not only, such boom of emotions, you need something more. By the way, there is one more interesting thing. Any incentive can be divided into motivation to and motivation from. In the first, you want to do or come to something, and in the second, you want to avoid it. You can tell me, Kirill, I don't want to hide from something, and to be honest, that's great, that's amazing, because it shows your strength. But in my personal opinion, both incentives are very important. Think about it, we always almost combine them. Subconsciously, when you set yourself a goal, for example, to improve your diet, yes, you want to make your life better, make your health better, but at the same time, you want to avoid different stuff like extra weight, for example. Each person has both of these types of motivation, and I believe that you need to know how to use them properly. So, about your controlled motivation, it's not enough just to feel it once. You need to support, you need to sustain it for a long time. And I have 5 tips that will help you to do this. First, create a system that will keep you afloat and motivate you move ahead without stepping back. This system can work simultaneously as a lifeline that keeps you on the surface of the sea and the supercar that drives you wherever you point your wheel. If I have a serious task in front of me, I always try to create a system that will help me to achieve it. One of the most important characteristics of pretty much any system is the regular repetition of your targeted actions. For instance, if my task is to develop my YouTube channel, I'll create a system that will help me to upload videos regularly. Often, the shorter the interval between actions, the better the system feels. Personally, I found it much easier to develop a system if I do something every day at the same time. For example, going to the gym or working on new content for you. So, why the system is so important for the motivation? Actually, because it's like an autopilot that keeps you from flying off the lane and getting into the accident. By following the system, you work on a set of habits that become part of your life. Plus, acting systematically, you always can track your progress and understand how far you moved. The system has only one disadvantage. You can relax and feel safe. It's a tool and you need to learn how to use it because it can't live by itself. It shouldn't let you turn off your head and just move with the flow. In this case, it will be much more harm for you than good. You just don't want to get out of the way of life when you consistently every day improve yourself and become stronger. In my opinion, this is the great motivation. But in combination with the next tip, it works even much better. So, the second advice is to enjoy the process, not only the result. Yes, first of all, any goal is just a point in the future where you want to be, but don't forget about what leads you there. You have a long way to go, and it's important to enjoy the journey. In one of my previous videos, I explained you that I used to act as a robot. I just moved from one point to another without feeling something. And yes, such approach works pretty well, I can't deny it. But now I understand that it can lead to burnout. Sooner or later, you'll feel that you just want to take a rest and put everything on pause. You should and can rest, but you'll feel something is not right here. You seem to be resting, but not feeling discharge inside in order to keep moving towards the goal. You will not want to return to work, but at the same time, you'll have enough energy to do something else. This happens when you force yourself to act and don't actually enjoy the process. By the way, you can get high from any activity. The most important stuff here is just to look at it from the right angle. So sometimes it pays to listen to what you feel. And here again, I return to one of the thoughts that I expressed before. Be very concerned on your mental health. You will just overheat if you will not enjoy the process. Just trust me. And one more thing. Investing in comfort is not so useless. Mostly I'm talking about such investments that will make your work more enjoyable, more efficient and productive. If there is something that you constantly do, just invest in comfort a bit. Buy yourself a new armchair, buy a subscription to the useful service that will remove ads, and sooner or later you'll understand. Because of these small, tiny investments, you just don't go crazy. I think you'll feel it. But as for now, we'll move on. My third tip. Create a list of your goals and read it every day. I used the page in the Notion where I wrote down all my goals for 2023. It helps you to keep yourself in a good shape and do every day your best in order to reach that level. I believe it's extremely important to set ambitious goals and always remember about three things. The first one is where you were that time when you decided to write them down. The second, where you are right now today. And the third one, where you will be when you achieve them. And every time I look at them, I understand I definitely moved to the right direction. By the way, it's also about creating a system that always will help you to move without making any stops. And there is one addition to this. In my Notion page, I have one place where I write down all my challenges. It works like this. If I want to change something in my life, and by the way, I do it quite often, I just go to my Notion, I challenge myself and I fix it there. For instance, from this particular day, I have to get up with the first alarm without any exceptions. And when I do this, in 30 days, I'll buy something to myself. It may be funny, but for me, traditionally, this gratitude is a milkshake in my favorite restaurant. I hardly consume dairy products, and every time this shake, it feels like something special. It's important to note here that any of such challenges, it shouldn't pass away without making your strategy different. For instance, after getting up with the first alarm for these 30 days, I developed a skill and it will remain with me even after this challenge. Now I create daily videos for you guys here on this YouTube channel, and once it will be achieved, I'll create a new clause, a new target for me, and it will be like, I don't know, 30 days or 180 days ahead. In general, always have your goals with you, somewhere in the pocket, for instance, or in your backpack, and let them motivate you. My fourth advice, from time to time, just meditate and feel this, imagine this in your head, this moment where you're going to. It's crucially important to feel your success even if you are not there now. If you've never meditated before, for the first several times it may be quite tough, yeah, but it comes with an experience, and soon you'll understand how to do this efficiently. The point is to use maximum methods of perception, mentally being there. You know where you're going, so try to visualize you at the level where you want to be. Now analyze it. Where are you? Who's around you? What are you doing? Use your auditory and tactile ways of perception. What do you feel? What do you hear? Can you feel some smell? What are you wearing? We always remember things much better when we dilute them to images. It's like to compare eating a cookie with the water or without taking it dry. It may be more convenient for you to immerse yourself in your thoughts, being in a certain specific place. Keep track of the smells around, the temperature, how much time did you spend for sleep today. It's very important for the final result. After each session, please write down your conclusions or simply just fix them in your mind, because without it there is no point. I personally use this tool almost constantly. I always imagine myself in 5 and 10 years when I will reach all my goals, and I perfectly know which kind of person I want to be there. And my tip number 5, develop a high self-esteem and think big. These two things are much more connected to each other than you might think. When you realize that you can do pretty much anything in this life and only you set limits, when you feel this charge of energy inside and you want to do something, your life will never be the same. All frames will go away and you will not be longer afraid to set ambitious goals that will motivate you. It's so inspiring to go to what seems unattainable today. And this is how it works. At first, you just want to achieve something. You have this intention. Then you make a plan, and next, just your first step. It's followed by the second, the third one, and so on. And each of these steps, it makes you stronger. And now you already understand it. It seems to be clear how to reach this final, most desirable checkpoint. The same principle works here as in a gym. At the first time, you can't lift a lot of weight, but your muscles, they become more powerful. You train, and in the process you'll learn, okay, here I need to improve my technique, here I need to breathe differently. It's like a puzzle that comes together and gives you a new reality. When I was a child, I played all the video games exclusively on the highest difficulty possible, and I believe that helped me a lot. Thanks to that, I'm not afraid to have some tough moments in my life, and I'm always concentrated on what's behind them. Find your hidden potential, become the person you really are. Believe in yourself and your strength. Life gives us opportunities every day, and we only have to take them. So I really hope that my advices will help you to find and keep your motivation. These 5 tips has really changed my life. To some of them I came by my own, and some of them were advised to me by different people, or maybe I found them in a book. But it doesn't matter, because now is the best moment, the best time to implement them. Remember, there is no change without the movement. So let this video be a starting point. Thank you for watching this video, I really appreciate it. So if you found it useful, please give me your comment below. Tell me about what do you think about my ideas, what do you think about the lessons that I shared with you. Give me your like if you like it, give me a dislike if you don't like this video, and follow my channel. So, see you soon, guys. Thank you. Опа!